What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and before we get into anything today, I want to take a second and thank each and every one of you who's decided to subscribe to this channel. We've officially hit 600 subscribers, which I feel like I say this every time. It's an insane number to me. 600. Every time we grow 100 subscribers, I'm surprised for some reason, even though you guys are such a great community that I should just expect it by now. But either way, I really do appreciate all your support, especially during that lockout. But now that baseball's back, let's blow this community up. Let's get to 700, 800 in the next couple of weeks. That would be fantastic. Anyways, for today's video, we are going to be talking about Chris Sale's injury. We're going to be talking about whether or not Bobby Dalbec will stay at first base in the regular season. And finally, this would not be a preseason spring training Red Sox video without talking about the latest rumor mill free agent connection. And today we are talking about whether or not Trevor Story is going to come to the Boston Red Sox. We're going to talk about how he fits in with the Red Sox and whether or not they'll make a legitimate offer. But before I do that, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button. We only have a couple of days left on our 500 subscriber giveaway. So once you've hit that subscribe button, head over to my channel, click on this video, and enter the giveaway so you can take advantage of being subscribed. Also, make sure that you guys have liked this video as well. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. So I figured we should just rip the band-aid, get the bad news out of the way first. Chris Sale is, for the second year in a row, going to be missing a good chunk of the first half of this season. It was announced this week that Chris Sale is sustained a rib stress fracture injury, and it's going to be about 6 to 8 weeks before he comes back. So at minimum, we are expecting him at late May, probably most likely in June at some point. And this is wildly frustrating to me. I know this guy is supposed to be our star pitcher and stuff like that, but we haven't really seen him pitch now in what's going to be close to 2 years. Yes, we saw him at the end of 2021 and in the playoffs where he didn't do super hot, but this was supposed to be his comeback tour. It sucks that it's kind of deja vu all over again. The good news is that this is not an arm injury, it's a rib injury. So he's not going to have to rehab his arm at all and get back into a pitching motion. So the road back seems a lot easier than any other injury he could have sustained. So I guess it could have been a lot worse. Now, the question I have for you guys is whether or not you think they are going to just sort of band-aid this rotation until Chris Sale comes back, or if they go out and they trade/sign maybe another starting pitcher for this rotation. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of that question. In my opinion, I believe that they are going to sort of band-aid it. And I use band-aid as a loose term because I genuinely think this rotation, while having Chris Sale in there makes it a very, very good rotation. Obviously, any rotation with Eovaldi, Sale, Pivetta when he's performing super well is a pretty decent rotation. I don't know about elite, but it's pretty good. Now, the reason I say band-aid is a loose term is because realistically, they're probably going to put Houck in that spot. Now, Houck is by no means a bad replacement. Their plan originally was to have Houck stretch his way into the rotation along with Whitlock, but obviously that might not be able to happen because of what happened to Sale. And in my opinion, this is Tanner Houck's year. We could see him have a breakout year because now he's got to fill in and step up when Chris Sale isn't in that rotation. So is it a blessing in disguise? I guess we'll see. But at the end of the day, Chris Sale is still hurt, and that still sucks. Let me know whether or not you think they're going to band-aid this situation until he's back or go out and get a different pitcher. On to the second piece of news here, and that's that Bobby Dalbec may no longer be our first baseman. Before I do get into that, though, check out this home run he smashed on the second pitch of his first ever spring training at bat in 2022.
Facing Bobby Dalbec. Ooh. Dalbec skies this one to left. Back toward the wall. And go. Bobby.
That was a monster shot. That was actually the first ever home run of 2022 by a major league player. So that's kind of a cool thing to have. But the news with Bobby is not that he hits tanks. We all know he hits tanks. The news is that Alex Cora officially announced that he is going to be trying Bobby out in the outfield and at second base. Now, second base is Pretty surprising in my mind. I kind of figured Christian Arroyo and Kike would split that. We'll talk about the other free agents that could fill that second base hole in a little bit, but left field makes a lot more sense to me. Bobby, if you don't know, is one of the fastest first basemen in baseball. He's also extremely athletic and has a very strong arm. He pitched in college. So in my mind, left field makes a lot more sense. If Bobby can keep a hot bat going into 2022, having him in left field I'm perfectly okay with that. Second base makes me a little bit nervous. He's very tall, lanky. He does not build like a second baseman. But then again, if he works out at second base and he's not hindering us defensively there, I'm perfectly fine with that too. Just give me the Bobby D redemption tour that I predicted to have happen this season, because I truly believe Bobby's going to become his own player in 2022. Now let's talk about the new free agent on the Red Sox radar, Trevor Story. It feels like immediately after Freddie Freeman decided not to go with the Red Sox or the Rays and head to LA to play for the Dodgers, there were tweets firing out that the Red Sox have moved on to Trevor Story. And that's probably realistically how it does work during free agency. But at this point, I'm just sort of sick of these rumors. Every single big name star has been connected to the Red Sox. Then Red Sox fans go into frenzy saying we have to sign this guy, we have to sign this guy. And then we don't sign him because management doesn't feel like he's a good fit. And he goes somewhere else and Red Sox fans get upset. It's been the same cycle over and over again for the past couple of years. Now, the good news is with the Freddie Freeman going to the Dodgers, it proves that the Red Sox are willing to give big contracts. They offered him about 6 years, $150 million. So it's not like they're being cheap by any means. It's just that, in my opinion, Freddie wanted to go home. On the case of Trevor Story, the Red Sox would realistically want him at second base. I don't think the Red Sox are ready to move Xander Bogaerts over just yet, and we'll talk about that in a second. From the outside, it looks like Trevor Story would be a perfect fit for Bobby. He's got kind of that gritty play style. He's a perfect defender, and he's got a really decent bat, but when you take a deeper dive into Trevor Story, it becomes a little less probable that the Red Sox are genuinely trying to get Trevor Story here. And the reason I say that is because earlier after this lockout ended, a source came out and said that Trevor Story decided not to take a $100 million plus deal because he wouldn't be playing shortstop. A lot of analysts and Twitter people, I don't know what the proper term for that is, speculate that was the Red Sox offer. And the reason the Red Sox don't want to move Xander off of second base just yet is because of his contract year. Now, I know a lot of you guys want Xander off of shortstop, and to be perfectly honest with you, I don't absolutely love him out there. I have no problem with him out there because he deserves to be out there. He's been the captain of this team for damn near 10 years now. And he's very, very good offensively. And sure, his defense has deteriorated, but we made it to the ALCS last year. It's not like he's depleting this team's ability to win. So I have no problem with him over there at shortstop. But the reason I say that the Red Sox aren't willing to move him just yet is because if he's moved to second base this year, chances are he's gone. He's not even going to consider a position with the Red Sox because he wants to play shortstop. Now, if he could play shortstop and we can get a very good second baseman, then in a couple of years after we've re-signed him, we can move him over and it won't be a big deal. You won't lose Xander Bogaerts, which in my mind makes a lot of sense. You wait 1 year, maybe you pick up another second baseman next year or something. Maybe you hope that Correa gets a 1 year deal and waits until next year too. There's a whole bunch of reasons why I could see the Red Sox not pulling the trigger on Trevor Story. There's also the problem with his consistency. He didn't have great road splits last year, so it's not a guarantee that Trevor Story will be good outside of Coors Field. And in my opinion, I just don't think it's the right fit anymore. At the beginning of this lockout, I made a whole video saying that I would rather have Trevor Story than Carlos Correa, and that's still true because I love Xander, and if we get Correa, that is for sure going to be the end of Xander and probably Rafael Devers too, who I desperately want back. So I still like Trevor Story better than Carlos Correa, but I don't think they get either. I think at this point, the moves for the Red Sox will be to get a lower end, and this doesn't mean that they're a bad player, but a lower end outfielder like Conforto or Soler. And I know Soler was World Series MVP, but he's not $100 million contract kind of guy just yet. They probably will also get another bullpen arm, and I think that's where they stop. Let me know in the comment section down below what you make of this Trevor Story rumor. Do you think it has any validity to it? Do you think it's just smoke and mirrors? Let me know all your thoughts on Trevor Story and all of the topics we talked about today. As always, if you've made it to the end of this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. You made it to the end, you clearly enjoy the content, so make sure you've hit that subscribe button and that like button as well. Thanks again for 600 subscribers. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.